Good evening and welcome back. This is the sixth session, and incredible how we've been able to stay on this journey together and learn so much. So it'd be lovely to hear your your reflections from yesterday. It generated a lot of insight, I think, for all of us, even if some of us are not new to the ideas. I think one thing to point out, it is what we cannot see. And Einstein put it beautifully that not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts. A bit of a riddle, but this feeling that to understand the power of knowledge of this unseen and unmanifest, and how it actually has a huge implication in our lives, as we saw with the Vinash forces yesterday. And the other thing I often find myself remembering is this quote by Peter Drucker, who said, "The greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence, it is to act with yesterday's logic." And I found that really fascinating. And yesterday, the point that the historian who predicts or has noticed the pattern of some kind of settlement, some kind of destructive forces every 50 years. And so we're seeing the permissive culture of feeding Ravan. And what does it mean? So, yes, turbulence, but we have knowledge of what is happening at the very profound level. So if we understand that, we can shift the posture. So it was also said, don't join the crowd just because the majority are in the wrong posture. Otherwise, we all get pain. But to have this conviction, virtue, and certainty to seek to understand and then make the changes we need to make and help others do the same becomes a fascinating period, really, at this time. So perhaps it's an opportunity for realization for all of us. I can speak for myself. So we will share the quotes, yes, and we're going to be welcoming in Prashant anytime now. And yeah, thank you and welcome.
Oh, and welcome back. Yeah, yesterday's subject was very, very practical, but also tells us that the ball is in our court. It tells us we are absolutely responsible, which means it's a good news. It empowers us. It is not helpless, poor me. That victim is removed. We can change. We can change the posture. We can change at all levels. And if we are to offer any help to others, it is at that level. It also says that we can't really offer, real help apart from this. I can postpone Vinash forces of others, but I can't remove them. Unfortunately, this is the verdict from what we discussed yesterday. The entire medical institution, what are they achieving? They postpone the Vinash forces. And this positioning is supported by observations. After the national budget on health is in trillions of dollars. Literally, just as one country spends trillions. And after all this, we have got more health problems in the world today than in the past, because these accounts are continuing from one life to the other. And so there is answer to deal with it at the right level. So let us create few more minutes of attention. We use the word paras when we have the option to go for 100% paras. And what does that mean? 100% paras. Ravan disappears. Ravan exists only in ignorance. One can't continue with I, that language and all, if it is 100% paras. In a second, the invisible witness is in charge, he's conscious. And for him, that alaukik is so vivid and normal. He knows he is very lucky. This moment, invisible witness, he knows he is lucky, very lucky. Begin with his world is world of immortality, world beyond harm. He knows his whole family, they are all like stars and they need nothing for their existence. Ignorant of the word desire. They miss nothing, they lack nothing. They are content. They are divine beings. He knows that all are lucky in this world. Forever. No one dies, nothing ends. It's a stable world. He knows this. The home, that is his home. For him, it is normal to be incorporeal, to be like this presence. It's normal to be immortal. Normal to see his complete independence from the story. Story is separate, he knows this. He is separate. Everyone appears childlike because they are so secure, they are innocent, and they are harmless. Happy, innocent, harmless. They are childlike. And at the same time, they are godlike. They are in full wisdom. That's why they are like this. They are viceless and egoless. Because vices and ego are only when they mix their lives with the story. He understands truth is beautiful. Truth is immensely beautiful for everyone. Thank you. Feel free if you want to say anything, and then we'll come to the subject of today.
Thank you. No comments right now, just Appreciated the recap. Yeah.
Our subject for today is subject of God. But very likely we are not going to use the word God too often in this discussion, because the word is not important. In fact, that word is used so vastly without understanding that it is debased. There are so many opinions on who God is, as many people there are. Each one has got her opinion. So which is fine, but let us have this rational discussion on this subject of God. Yesterday we spoke about Ram. If you are to describe Ram from our discussion, what we heard, based on that, if you are to speak of one word that defines Ram, what will be that one word? If someone was to ask you, you heard that story, of Sita and Ram. Who is Ram? Tell me in one word. He says, I'm busy. Just tell me one word. I really want to know.
Protector, he's divine, virtuous. Truth, he's in truth. He can help, he's got the means to help Sita, purity, no Ravan, full of the highest code of conduct.
Very good. Yeah, absolutely nice. We differentiated. Even difference between Sita and Ram is that Sita crosses the line. Sita crosses the line into ignorance, whereas Ram never crosses the line. In other words, he stays in truth always. That is what makes Ram Ram. That's what makes God God. He stays in truth. And this is what everyone should. If there is no truth, then how can anyone say anything close to God? At least we expect God to stay with truth. But another nice insight in this, he is virtually opposite of Ravan. And sometimes you see in this world, the big hero comes and the big villain also is at the same time on the stage. They have totally opposite ideas, opposite positioning. You see this happening in the world. Some big villain at the same time there is big hero also. So Ravan, how do you understand Ravan? Ravan is embodiment of ignorance. He cannot live in truth. In truth, he will dissolve. In ignorance, he flourishes. He is king in ignorance, king in darkness. An embodiment. He is, absolutely believes in it. It doesn't want to discuss it. This body is me, full stop. Don't question it. You will be in trouble if you question it. So he's the embodiment of that ignorance. Let me draw that sketch. And the important thing, crossing the dotted line. So in such a world, we have Ravan. And Ravan absolutely he has to be on this side of the line, in ignorance. And all the 10 heads of Ravan are obsessed with different things within this box. One is caught with sugar, one is caught with another person, one is caught with position. Ravan means that. All the different identities, he wants more of it, more. But within the limits of that box, Ravan does not exist beyond the box. That box is his field of action. And it's a foreign world. It is not our world. It is a story world. But Ravan doesn't worry about that. He is absolutely, this is mine, and this is me, shamelessly sitting there, building fences and keeping guard on his treasures in that foreign world. He gets kicked out, he screams, but doesn't let go. And with the ignorance, he is embodiment of bondages. So sorrow is guaranteed. Ram is opposite. Ram is embodiment of wisdom. And as a result, 100% free of bondages. To be free from bondage is a big thing. This is the whole game. And for each and every person on the planet, question is, how free are you from this web? That is the only question. Any spiritual effort is just around this. Are you trapped? Are you free? How free are you? And Ram is the one who is 100% free always, never get deceived. And he is able to free others from this web. Sita crosses the line, Sita gets trapped. Ram can help Sita. So we said that to describe God, we have to hold on to this subject of truth. But we also saw if someone is always in such a space of truth, then what will he experience? He will experience that he is absolutely secure. Story, things come, go, change, but he is secure. He will know greatness of everyone else. We are talking about someone who is 100% soul conscious in a natural way. 100% Paras. One name for God is Parasnath. Means Lord Paras. That is, there are some temples to God with this name, Paras. So secure. We have seen earlier, when you are secure, it brings out the best in you. And a secure person is able to love. Secure person experiences happiness. Secure person knows peace. Secure person knows contentment. In his case, this security is 100% always. So the love becomes 100%, contentment 100%, peace 100%. That is the way his life is. Forever. Forever in wisdom. This is in the face of all situations of the drama. Like someone can say, I am happy when someone breaks something, then I'm affected. Or someone tries to throw stones at me, unprovoked, then I lose my love for him. In his case, there is no change. Drama has all kinds of situations. He remains 100% love, 100% contentment, 100% happy. So it is a supreme personality, reliable personality. as was said, opposite, virtually opposite of Ravan. Okay, so now we are grasping this personality, just like souls. Souls are incorporeal, so also here is the supreme soul, also incorporeal. He won't, if he's in truth, then he won't be in the story. He's completely detached from the story, so he's not a part in the story. So he's so wonderful, agree. What is it to do with me? How will it help me? There are many nice people and great people, very special virtues in many people, but why do I need to know them? So if someone asks you, why do I need to know him? It's God. It is nice for him that he is loving and kind. Why do I need to know him? What will you answer? Do I need to know him? What should I do? Should I start worshipping him? What should I do now? It was so good.
Yeah. So maybe in the context of Ram and Sita, it seems essential. If we know him, we will know his virtues, and we could try to become like him, like Ram and Sita have equality in that sense. We need a reference point because everyone else is confused in Ravan's kingdom. We need to get rid of sorrow. It is good to know him. He is our protector in the sense, guide.
Nice. Yeah, very good. Now, one principle we need to know is we are 100% affected by the company we take. You and me are affected 100%. Even the way what you speak, even the language you speak, the way you speak, is because of the company you had. We are influenced by the nurture and environment around us. A mother will be keen to know who the friends of your children are, because teachers teach, but friends teach twice as much to the children. And so whatever the company is, that has influence. Company colors. Now, this company, if you got someone sitting next to you, but you are impressed with someone who is in another country even, that becomes your more real company. You're thinking of that person, that becomes the company. So also here, the company is, we take the company of the one where we are impressed with, or where we think about, whatever we associate, that becomes the company. If our aim is to become free from Ravan, if our aim is to become 100% clean inside from all this ignorance, all these attachments, ego, we want to be free from all that. We want to be free from sorrows and desperations and degradation. Then in this entire universe, there is one who is out of this. Large majority don't even know what is happening. This is the way everyone, unconscious, everyone, they are in the Ravan's party. So in such a world, there is just one soul who is reliably awake and knows the game, has intention to free you also. So for the one who wants to be free, then you very clearly know whose company we should take. And it doesn't matter, whether he's next to me or our thoughts direct us. We take the company through thoughts. Influence will happen straight away. We have seen sometimes if our inner blueprint, selfie photograph of the mind, and it shows a pattern like this, that is true, and truth there, but lots of other false I are there. And our aim is to nourish that real you, truth, to grow in soul consciousness. That is our aim. This process is made easy when you are thinking of the Supreme Friend. He sees you as a friend. He loves and there's a close bond. He knows your greatness. No one else knows you at all. They all know the drama and the part, whereas he knows you for who you are, loves you, knows your immense greatness, sees you as equal to him, knows you belong to him. And so every minute you are taking his company, you are nourishing the highest side within you, the highest personality within you. You are nourishing that higher consciousness. And as that is getting nourished, the false identities will continue to become smaller. Few words that are nice to describe him. From what we have spoken so far, we can say that he is the highest. Ram, Sita, which applies to 100% of all others, they cross the line. That makes him the highest. He's the only one who doesn't cross the line. He is the holiest. Why do you say he's the holiest? How do you define holiness? I think the mayor is called His Holiness or something like this. But why is he the holiest?
That he's pure, maybe in that sense, without mixing with Ravan.
More precise.
Doesn't have a bad bone in him. Paris, he's truthful. He has no vices.
Zero Ravan, that's all. To the extent Ravan is getting bigger, Ravan is unholy factor in the whole equation. So it is not just one aspect, lust and then you're holy, but any form of Ravan, any head of Ravan is unholy. So he's 100% free from Ravan. He is the wisest. He stays in truth. He is Paras always. He knows clearly the big map, lives with that map. So his embodiment. It is not just nice knowledge, but he is the embodiment, lives in that understanding. He is the loveliest. He loves everyone. And authentic love, as was said, someone throws stones and all this, your love might become less, with in some situations. He remains forever like that. So here is your friend, and we are understanding, okay, this is the personality of this friend of ours. See, there is a friend, and he's willing to be with me. Up to me then, how much I create time with him. Someone may, sometimes you come across people, they are willing to teach you, music, or they are willing to they have time. And do you have time to, have you got some other priorities? So here, he is the highest and holiest and wisest. If you are looking for a friend, there is no friend higher than this one. The question is, do you have time? We said, I want to take the company of someone, but we said if company is someone maybe in another country or even, and still we do take company. In our company, there are few areas to check in the company of God. It is not a physical statue that we want, or photograph, or physically I sit next to him. These are all different ways of taking company. But Raj Yogi, uh, positioning, I want to know what he knows. Sometimes, you may see a photograph of some leader, some maybe of history also, some leader, Kennedy or something. Okay, you like that photograph, okay. But if you hear his speech, then you come to know more about him. You understand, how is he thinking? And maybe I like this man. I trust this man. Some feelings come. So I need to know. It's also with God. We need to know what he knows. I want to know what he thinks. I want to feel what he feels. I want to see what he sees. This is a nice little experiment. We already got the idea, of what that personality is. And then it is up to us to, in various situations, try and be creative. What will God see in this situation? What does he know? What is that full paras, Ravan-free perspective? Our ordinary perspective is heavily Ravan-based perspective. It is 100% into story. So what is his perspective? It is radically different. But let us see that perspective. Let me know what he knows. Let me think what he thinks. Let me feel what he feels. And let me see what he sees. Create 10 minutes to experiment with this. And what will happen is that deep inside you, the transformation is happening. He's thinking, you're saying what he's thinking, what he's seeing. This is what you're doing. but the experience is happening within you. It is happening within you, the soul. And that is enough. That transformation has started. Every second counts in this. And that soul consciousness will be nourished. We need a real method to bring about a transformation at that level, deep level. Ordinarily, these false identities, they are very stubborn. They don't want to go. And we need the proper method for this. Superficially, they won't go. So in this tradition, there is no need to go and do some ritual ceremonies, worship, all of that. Nothing wrong with it, but it is not going to bring about a deeper transformation. To bring about a deeper transformation, you need to be more subtle. You need to go deeper. You need to grasp the personality of that supreme being, that supreme personality. Yeah, let me hear thoughts. So we are hearing the introduction of the supreme personality. That's what we are discussing.
Yeah, thank you. Recently, I was listening to podcast and they were talking about subject of God and the experiences of the NDEs, near-death experiences. And there are very common things about meeting a loving, intelligent light. And it is interesting to see that many have had similar experiences, also some kind of life review, and but this is knowledge based, so it's really through understanding and then experiencing. So whilst the NDEs often have profound life-changing experiences, this also helps to consolidate it a bit, and the context of what's happening in the mind. But I think it's useful in our culture because it's seen as a belief. So you've already explained that a bit, and we're using the same name but with a very different implications. Yeah, there aren't any questions right now.
Yes. Now here in our striving to know the supreme personality, who will know him better? Our whole effort is that, no? We want to know him better. Just give me 1 minute. I need to put some technology right. Maybe Sarah can continue for a minute.
Yes, sure. No question. Who will know God better? That would be something to reflect on if you have any thoughts on it. Maybe someone's written someone who's nearly equal to him. That would be good. Yes. An interesting question: how to survive in the physical world? Should we give everything away? The difference between being a monk being 100% rather than free. So we'll have to come to that one. So someone has written, who can know him, whoever has become soul conscious. Yes. Yeah. Technology's fixed.
Yes.
Thank you.
So what was the question about monk?
Can come to it maybe
Later.
a while.
Yeah, sure. So here the subject, who can know him as he is? This is a nice process for all of us. We would like to know. And who will know him better? Now let us take the example. Let us say there is a great mathematician in your town. Who will recognize him? Who will recognize a great mathematician? He is like a genius, but who will recognize him? That's true. Another mathematician will recognize this great mathematician. For others, he's a nice neighbor. He's like a nice bloke. But he, as a mathematician, you need a mathematician. A great musician, another musician will recognize a great musician. And I have one experience with this. One of our friends, she is a musician. We're walking, and there were people, in that town, people playing music, and at one place she said, let us stop. This person is a great musician. For me, all others were just as good. I did not think this person is, but she's a music teacher, and for her, this one is a very special musician. She felt like to stop and listen to him. So you need to be a musician to recognize a great musician. So also here, you need to be in that direction, to be in that truth, to recognize one who is supremely in truth. You need to be in that direction. That's why the starting position for all of us is that we have to start with this invisible guest, invisible traveler. Get that soul consciousness right. This will big changes, full transformation will happen in time, but we need to come in the experience of it. And once we have come into the experience, just to follow the program, just to be sincere about this, some kind of dedication is required. If you are practicing this, or don't watch television at the same time, this kind of thing. Some focus is required. And if you are doing this, then experiences will follow. There is a language used. Many in this world, there's so much love for God and so many songs of love for God that is going on. And language used is, if you are soul conscious yourselves, then that love is real. If soul consciousness is not there, then that love is artificial. God is there. Sometimes even the notion of God itself can be so different. They want God to change their story. That's what Ravan would like. No? Ravan is not asking God to come and remove Ravan. That is not Ravan's prayer. Ravan wants more gold. Give me more. That is his prayer. So that whole department becomes artificial. True love, you first have to be in your soul conscious state. If you have experienced it, that soul awareness, if you see the wonder of it, if you know the personality there, this personality, where there is complete freedom from the story, 100% freedom. It may be for 5 minutes, it may be for 10 minutes, but you know what it is like. If you are free from the story, it means you are free from ego, and you are free from desires, even you are free from disappointments, and you know the joy of soul consciousness, and you understand that personality. Then you understand someone who is always in that space. What will be his personality? You understand him. So just like you need to be a mathematician to recognize a great mathematician, you need to be godlike, at least 1% godlike, to recognize God. Let us hear some thoughts from Sarah.
Yeah, thank you. Nothing to add right now, just there's a couple of questions.
Sure.
This coming back to the monk point, how to survive in the physical world? Should we give everything away? Being a monk, and is that the way to become 100% Ravan free?
You know, first, one of the first or second session, we emphasized how to practice this whilst in your city. That was the emphasis we placed. So everything is going on, and to be in that place, and how to internally not create a bondage. And we have seen different ways of doing it, worth revising some of the early sessions. And if there are still questions, come back. But it is like we used certain words. One word is a trustee. You are in this world, but you are a trustee even of the body. One who is soul conscious, he sees that way. Family, everything, he is a trustee of it. In the story, he knows he can't own anything in that story. So he sees himself as a traveler, he sees himself as a guest, he sees himself as a witness. He's involved. We like the expression involved and detached involvement. So it's a different style. We need all these situations of the story to see how free I am.
There is spirituality tends to activate the circuit inside of the renunciate, but actually the real renunciation is in the attitude. And actually you can help more, and that's been my experience. You can be more present, more involved, because you're not emotionally entangled with the circumstance and situation. So it's something to experience, and these minutes are very valuable for that. Getting to know God is one thing, but how to think like God and how to feel like God.
We experiment with this, and different situations come. One who is 100% Paras, who sees this as a story, and who knows behind this are the invisible players, and they all are lovely. He knows them. What will be his feelings in any situation? Just to create this thought, and you will continue to get glimpses of it and experiences of it. All these little glimpses are precious for us. It helps us go up the spiral. That is what we want.
And what's interesting about this model is that we start in that state. So we're not trying to do something superhuman, that at the soul level, there is the soul or Sita and Ram are alike. So their starting position in this understanding is like that. But we have radically, of course, crossed the line. The original eternal is having that understanding. There's a question here. When we successfully and completely become self-conscious, that means we won't have any accounts. And if that happens, do we stop existing? Meaning, would that not mean that you get united with the higher soul?
We took example of, I think we used the word Juliet. She's acting in the drama as a camel. We took that example. So there was a time she thought she's the camel. She's acting in the drama. She thought she's camel. And now she's realizing that no, she's not camel. She's Juliet. And she's acting in the drama as camel. That is all. That change has happened. Because this change has happened doesn't mean that camel has to disappear and she has to merge into something else. No. She's now just enjoying the drama better. And she's aware of her home. And she is now conscious. Juliet was almost unconscious when she thought she's the camel. Now she's conscious. She's aware of her parents and family, and she's enjoying her home, enjoying the drama also, enjoying the part of the elephant and part of dragon, because she is now sensible. So this game is just a game of becoming sensible. That is all. And then you enjoy the existence. We are saying that truth is very beautiful for everyone. We spoil it just by our confusion.
That's helpful. So, it is a gift, and in a way, there's a benevolence there. So we don't need to escape anything. Thank you. There are no other questions right now.
Yeah, sure. Let us create a few minutes of experience. And we've been talking about 100% paras. Let us experiment with 100% paras. In 1 second. And 100% paras means 100% clarity. No compromise on some blind spots and confusion. So we understand there is a story. Everything that happened since morning, it happened in a story. It is not even our story, it is a story. Even though you may be acting in it, it doesn't become my story. Story is always amusing, but we are able to see the world beyond the story. And beyond the story is the real world. We see this in the image of the sky, and in this world are the living stars. They are the stars of the sky. This is the true family. This dimension is timeless, eternal, secure. eternally secure. All are immortal. And all exist without needing anything. Such is this world. They certainly need nothing from the story. The natural state of everyone is desireless, sorrowless. If there are no desires, there are no sorrows. They are egoless, viceless. All this ego and all are because of the story. They are free from the story. They are harmless and they are selfless. Always. Fully secure. They are aware that they exist forever and they are beyond harm. Nothing can harm them, even the slightest. And when anyone is so secure, they remain innocent. They can afford to be innocent. Such is this world. Everyone is like this. And this personality, Ravan free personality, we can call it divine. If there is no demon, then that personality is divine. Always. Childlike and godlike. All are like this. Immensely lovely. They're lovely, loving, and lucky. This is the home of the family and the father. Father is the one who is always in truth, always conscious. Never mixes his life with the story. Never, not even the slightest. Finds it strange that anyone would do this. He knows of his immortality. He knows his freedom from that story, freedom from even desire. He also knows everyone is like him. He knows everyone is divine. They all are incorporeal and they all are immortal. They all are lovely and they belong to him. He knows this. There is a silent bond of belonging and the love of belonging with all. At this level, there are no limits. Everyone lovely and all belong to him forever. Truth is like this. In this environment, Paras environment, the true self wakes up. And for the true self, it is normal to be like a point of light. to be incorporeal, that is normal. To be immortal is normal. To be so independent from the story is normal. The story is separate. And right now Prashant is talking that is happening in the story. At the same time, the true self knows he is independent from the whole story. It might as well be a camel and elephant story that is going on. True self is the invisible witness, is the observer of the story. Separate, he knows of his complete separation. He is aware, he is very, very lucky. Here we are talking about a world of truth. We are not in a story, we are talking about region of truth, the world of immortality, world with the God, world of perfection, everyone egoless and viceless. We also realize that truth is positive. Universe itself is positive. Truth is positive and beautiful. As we continue on our journey, we understand we have the option. We can either stay conscious, stay in truth, or we have the option to join the crowd. And go in that identity with the story. Join the Ravan's camp or stay in the camp of Ram. This choice is there minute to minute. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we saw few aspects of this personality, supreme personality. We started with the foundation of truth, but we saw what it means to be 100% in truth, embodiment of truth, embodiment of that highest awareness, not just one who knows, but one who lives in it. embodiment of knowledge. We are seeing that it is normal to be invisible, incorporeal. That is the way life goes. And we ourselves are like this. We are making acclimatizing to that whole reality. And it is in our interest. We are still in this physical world, but then we are in the physical world with a different consciousness. That ego consciousness is not compulsory, and we do not need that ego and the Ravan consciousness for our existence, for our survival. It is like a illness, as we are seeing it. Nature also sees that whole thing as illness, and it is in our interest we remove it through wisdom rather than wait for Vinash forces to remove it. I know there will be rooms, and if anyone wants to, if Sarah want to share any thoughts or anyone want to ask anything, otherwise we'll go to the rooms.
It is very experiential, so I feel that it is takes you into the yoga. But one thing is the vision that that Ram, or the Supreme Friend, has on the soul, or Sita. Just thinking how he is the only one that really knows the greatness, and everyone else will be not seeing the full thing. So, yeah, so important to be aware of that.
Others may be seeing the greatness, but they are seeing the greatness of Cinderella. They are impressed with Cinderella, getting medals in Olympics. They are sort of impressed. So that doesn't help at a deep level. That vision holds you in the ego camp. So he is the one who sees your extraordinary greatness, but at a real level. That also means we have the option. What do we see in others? Do we see others at a superficial level, or do we go beyond the other layers and see their greatness? So one feeds them at a soul conscious level, other feeds Ravan in them without we knowing. Just our vision and our attitude feeds at a wrong level.
No wonder human relationships have become so complicated when we take in this factor into consideration. And I think right at the beginning you mentioned the victim is removed when we change the posture. So this company is seeing the sovereign, isn't it, that helps you finish the victim programming that others would potentially be feeling if they're not clear, and it is quite slippery. Yes. Someone has written, we only know of the present greatness, whereas Ram can also see the future greatness. But maybe at soul level, it's always great. I don't know. No. You wanted to share anything final before the rooms?
Oh, and we meet after the rooms.
So the discussion could be, who is God? How can you take benefit from his presence or existence? Does that sound okay?
Oh, nice.
So pop that in the chat and enjoy. We'll meet you back in just over 10 minutes. Just a reminder to maybe give space for everyone to share. And if you can come in camera, that'd be great as well, if you can. Thank you. Warm welcome back. Some really beautiful sharings, and let's get a moment for this silent relationship, the soul and the friend of the soul. Thank you. So nice. This atmosphere, all working and reflecting on this beautiful relationship. So I'd like to invite Sanjay to share reflections, and warm welcome back.
Hello everyone and good evening. When one is surprised again and again and again, you get used to it and it's not a surprise anymore. I mean, yes, a few minutes ago asked me to share, so for me, God is a gift. I used to worship God before getting into this school. As a kid, my father was taking me to the synagogue. We have a special seat there with my father's name on the seat. And every Saturday and every holiday, we used to go there. So I know God pretty much from that side. And not only I loved Him, I also was afraid of Him, because that's the way we thought about God. He can punish us, He can do some things that because He's so powerful, and one who loves Him get those gifts of loving Him. So when coming and understanding who God is, like was beautifully described before, I accept God as a gift. Why a gift? Because when you know God really, you release from every worry and every fear that ever hold you back from enjoying this life, right? You know that His purpose is just to come here and tell us who we really are, what is all about, and just to free us from those things that hold us back from really enjoy life, really live a life of freedom. Just to know that we were in Raven's jails, but not necessarily anymore. he to understand that his only mission is to tell us about Ravan, to show us who we really are, and actually to understand that I am and each and every one of us are God-like. What a beautiful thing, what a powerful thing, what a releasing point of knowledge that, one's heart can blow out in happiness. So just to embrace those points for a minute, as I said, taking a glimpse here, a glimpse there, it makes a huge difference in one's life. Just to more and more try to reach those glimpses and give that gift of freedom to oneself. Very, very joyful journey. Because who on earth, for God's sake, is not looking for that freedom, that lightness, that happiness? And here it is in front of our nose, just to grab it, take it, and enjoy it. To prove ourselves, to prove the self that there's no other truth, no other gift than that. No matter how many dollars you have in your bank account, it will never compare to this income, knowing God and knowing the fortune that we can just use freely and whenever we want. No limits. Okay? Om Shanti.
Very okay. I think it does the topic justice. And there's nothing to fear. So touching, actually, because I can relate, there's some confusion about the misconcepts, as was said, and using the name in vain, but actually it takes away all the fear. Absolutely. Thank you. Back to Prashant.
Thank you. Thank you to Sanjay. Over the last over these sessions, we have seen so far the what is happening at a deeper level. This is what we have been discussing. Life goes on, and largely our universities are busy working at the outer world. And there is very little time given to the inner world. Here we have been discussing the inner world last few days. And we are seeing more you are looking at it, you are realizing this is the foundation even of the outer world. Just like the seed, it is because of the seed we get a tree and fruit. There is, if you pay attention to the seed, you will get more fruit. It is something like that. If you ignore the seed, then you are down the line, you are ignoring the tree. So something similar happens here. Once you are understanding this inner life, you are realizing this cannot be ignored. It is not just you work on outer and that will fix your inner. We are seeing here that inner life needs to be addressed independently. We saw very clearly what exactly needs to be done. Many people know that something needs to be done, but don't really can point exactly what needs to be done, what needs to change. Some of these words are good. Ravan has to be removed. His false identities need to go. The bondage need to go. we said today also at some point, the difference between 2 people, 10 people, their quality of life for themselves, whether they are enjoying the life or there is more misery, 100%. It depends on how much bondage they have created, how far they are in their downward spiral. That decides if for themselves their life is noble or life is medium or life is misery. It doesn't depend upon the outer world. It is the inner positioning that decides our quality of life. And we have the option we are seeing here. There's an option. We do need to bring about this change. It will not just happen. It will not just by chance it will happen. In fact, it is just the opposite. At present, there are such strong heads of Ravan there. They are stubbornly there to take everyone in the opposite direction. Even if you are making spiritual effort, the different heads of Ravan want to take you in another direction. They want to get bigger. And when you are making the spiritual effort, we need to know that there are some forces against you. And that's why we discussed in that story how to deal with Maya, how to deal with Ravan, how to stop the mischief of Ravan. The discussion of today was along the same line. Our aim is to come out of this web. That is the aim. Aim is to improve the inner quality of life. Aim is to remove Ravan, become free from the bondages, to dismantle different false identities. That is the aim. And for this aim of this kind, we saw that there is Ram, one who has authority because he is out of this web. He is the only one who forever stays out, knows the game, and is able to help us at many levels. But today we saw that the minimum we can do is bring him in our lives. Leave aside the subject of belief in God, that leaving that aside. Here we are just talking about personality, one who is free and the supreme personality. Even for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we take that company, we will see the results. We'll see how it affects. Other day we spoke about Ram of Ravan. In the story, when we were talking about the story of Ravan, each head of Ravan, they got a Ram also. And that is Ram of Ravan. Ravan is quite happy for you to build a statue of Ram and worship that statue and ask for gold from that statue. Ravan will be very happy with that. If Ravan gets more gold and Ravan gets bigger hat and Ravan gets praise, and he says, God can give me all this, amazing. So that is God of Ravan, Ram of Ravan. Then there is Ram of Ram, Ram of Sita. That is different Ram. Ram of Sita, if we are dealing with the Ram of Sita, what will be the difference? Do you want to tell me? What will be the difference? The Ram of Ravan and the Ram of Sita. True Sita, the true Ram, and the Ram of Ravan. What will be the difference?
a lot of difference, but let's see. Maybe the difference one feeds the vices. The Ram and Ravan justifies and feeds vice. The real Ram would remove sorrow, whereas the fake one would increase it.
A real Ram will free you from Ravan. And that is what the aim is. No? In the purpose of Ram comes to remove Ravan. So if the real Ram comes, he will empower you. He will free you from the web, Ravan's web, and remove Ravan from your life. So that is completely different aim to just give me more gold or give me happiness, give me something in the drama that is help Cinderella. That is very much the Ram of Ravan. Here Ram of Sita will be freed, Sita will be made conscious. Sita will discover her greatness. So that is the game. Now I'm going to touch few and another insights about Ram. In many traditions, God is seen with an image of zero. Different names that are given to God, they represent zero. Sometimes even the dot, that is, in many traditions, God is seen with that image of a point. So also souls are also like that, but with the image of zero. And there is some nice significance to this word image connected with zero. Because in himself he knows that he owns nothing. He needs nothing. He lacks nothing. Zero. He misses nothing. As a result of all this, he loses nothing. He identifies with nothing. He has zero entitlements. Entitlement with nothing. So at the level of the theater and this drama, when we are talking of this, this is your extraordinary world of goodies. He has zero. He owns nothing, not one atom here. He says he's mine, he's free from that. He misses nothing, he owns nothing, he claims nothing, and he lacks nothing, he loses nothing, identifies with nothing. Everyone wants to be something or somebody. They all want to get bigger, whereas he remains zero, nothing. That is a nice saying in mathematics. You look at zero you see nothing. And you look at 0, you see nothing. You look through 0, you see everything. And that is nice paradox with this 0 also, and with the God. When it comes to this world, he remains 100% 0. No demand, no claims, nothing. I compare it with human beings. And they want to have more opposite of this. But because he remains 0, he experiences beyond that world. He experiences the ocean. He experiences ocean of bliss, ocean of peace, ocean of love, ocean of contentment, the treasures, limitless. That's what the reality is. He experiences that freedom. And in that consciousness, he also experiences the ocean of wisdom. He knows the truth. He knows of this world. Once you are free, you know of this world also better. If you are stuck, you can't know it. Those who are out of the web can know the web better, can even appreciate the web. Those who are stuck in the web, they can't understand the web even. So he knows this world. Another thing that happens with anyone who is free, that applies to you also and applies to God. You become the master of matter. This is the world of matter. The one who is free becomes the master of matter. I'll give an example. Say there is a rope, and this rope is tying this man. There is this rope. This rope is used to tie him. Then he is the slave. He is poor fellow. He is tied by the rope. The rope is not tying him. He is free from the rope. Then he becomes the master of that rope. He can take up the rope. He can play with the rope. He can make knots with the rope. He can do the skipping exercise with the rope. So he becomes the master of the rope when the rope is not tying him. Same happens with this world of matter. If this world of matter has trapped you, tied you, then you are the slave of this matter. That matter can give you sorrow, and you are a slave. But someone who is free from this bondage, understood what it means to be free, then he becomes master of matter. That means a lot. You can play with this world of matter the way you choose, if you want. You might say the story is just right as it is going, but you are also able to influence the story. Excellent. I'm happy to hear any thoughts from you.
Yeah, I really appreciate the simplicity of this rope example. And coming back to what you said, the real Ram will remove Ravan, and Ravan is the one who is tied. He's confused. And, each head of Ravan has his own idea of success. And in a way, it is worshipping, but it could be in the form of devotion to money or job or something external and higher reference point for that consciousness. So yes, whether it's a religion or not, it's within the box and creating more bondages. So to reserve this title for the one that is helping us be the master, it's most beautiful. Question, a couple of questions coming up. One is this why he is the father of the unlimited?
He's the father of, he's from beyond. That in that sense, he's from the unlimited. He is not father at the level of the theater. So that is the language that sometimes that gets used. In the story, in the theater, the Cinderella is a father, all that happens. But he's the father beyond the theater, beyond the story. He's the father of the actors. And beyond the story is that dimension is unlimited.
Yeah, that helps. Thank you. What if you are tied to the rope temporarily for a few minutes and then you regret it because you realize what happened? How to be always aware about the rope and be more aware every moment.
One is to be aware, but we want to be free. And the different things we discussed and different times also is how to be free.
But of also knowing the independence from the rope is helpful. I mean, this is the problem with being mixing the sense of self. Yes. So no other comments right now.
Yes, let us come in the experience in a few minutes. And this is part of the homework for us. And in this, we remind that here is a theater, and there is a drama, and there are actors. Let us take the example. John is acting in the school drama, and John is acting as King Frederick. And John comes home to mommy and daddy. He comes as John. He may completely forget about King Frederick. We understand here what is happening is a stage and a theater. Since morning, we have been in this theater. And it is a good theater. But we understand now there is the actor, invisible actor. This invisible actor chooses to step behind the theater. And behind the theater is silence. Behind the theater, he sees this, the real world, in the image of an expanse. The true home. is so happy to discover this reality behind the theater. So happy to discover that silence, complete silence in this world. Just across on the stage, there is so much sound. And behind, there is silence. He's so happy to experience the security of this world. On the stage, the whole drama is to come to an end. The episodes finish. The villains and the dragons. But now that he is behind the stage, he understands he is so safe forever. So happy to experience the sweetness of this world. True family is behind. They are like tiny stars. These are the ones whom we knew for eternity. True family. And there is sweetness of this family. So happy to discover the supreme friend and the father in this world. One who is the wisest, holiest, and the highest friend. And there is a bond of love. True family, true father is in the real world. We won't meet them in the theater. But we realize this extraordinary truth. All we have done is just stepped back from the stage and discover this biggest prize, eternal prize. As we continue on our journey and come back in the theater, come into actions, we come with greater enthusiasm because we know the big secret of our real world. We know of our immortality. We know of our supreme friend. We know of the beautiful truth. Thank you.
Thank you. It's like having the anchor personality in that world. Is there any homework for till we meet again?
And some of the things of the past continues as a homework. And definitely today, as was said, to experiment with the company of the Supreme Friend and try and grasp at a subtle level, tries to know what he knows and what he sees and what he thinks and what he feels. Then it is the real company. And that will have the big results.
Nice, thank you. It's like getting refined, isn't it? And you should see the results, nourishing the awareness of the seed. Thanks so much. We'll meet again tomorrow. Will be last session. We'll also share details about follow-up opportunity. So thank you. Enjoy your experiments.